Hi everyone, this is Anjil Pathak and welcome to my channel. Let's go through few more practice questions for Tableau Desktop Specialist exam. So the first question is, we can disaggregate the data to see all of the marks in the view at the most detailed level of granularity. So let me take you to Tableau for this. So let's say we have a scatter plot plotted for sales and profit. Now, when everything is aggregated, you will see only a single mark. Okay, so to disaggregate this at each record level, what you can do is go to analysis and click on this aggregate measures. Right now it's ticked, that is why it is aggregating all the measures. The moment we uncheck this, it will disaggregate. Okay, so now it has disaggregated and you can see one mark for one record basically. So you have now all the records plotted here as marks. Okay, so yes, we can definitely disaggregate the data. Okay, and if you want to study more on this, then you can go to help.tableau.com. There's a section on data aggregation in Tableau. You can study this. There are a lot of good topics over here which can come in exam. Okay, one of the topic is how to disaggregate data. Okay, the same thing which I just told you. Okay, and you can read other things also, like change the aggregation of a measure in the view, aggregating dimensions, list of predefined aggregations. Okay, so yeah, you can go through this article. A field that shows average sales for the East region in 2016 is most likely a continuous date value dimension, a discrete date part dimension, an aggregated measure, a geographical dimension. Now, when we say it shows average sales, right? The moment it says average, it gives you a hint that it could be a measure. Primarily, it could be a measure, right? And it's talking about sales. So definitely it's a measure and not a dimension. And if you see the options, the only option is C, an aggregated measure. So yeah, that would be the answer. And third is, we can use Dash as a static tool to open and interact with packaged workbooks with extracted data sources that have been created in Tableau Desktop. Now, whenever someone says static tool, okay, so it cannot be Tableau Online, Tableau Server, right? These are not static things, right? These are all dynamic tools wherein you can continuously publish things, change things, right? You can interact, play with the dashboards, and same thing happens for Tableau Desktop as well. So using the Tableau Desktop, you develop the dashboards, you create extracts, you create packaged workbooks. But when they say that it's a static tool to open and interact, that has to be the Tableau Reader. Okay, you can open and interact, but you don't have much liberty with the Tableau Reader, and you can read more on this here in Tableau Reader help. Use Tableau Reader to open and interact with packaged workbooks with extracted data sources that have been created in Tableau Desktop. With Tableau Reader, you can only open and interact with Tableau workbooks. You can present views as a slideshow. You can export views or data. You can print views. You can publish views as PDF files. So these are the tasks which you can perform using a Tableau Reader. So yeah, this has to be Tableau Reader. Then the calculation shift date minus order date will return what? Okay. Now whenever you subtract one date from the other date, usually logically you will get the number of days, right? So if you see the options, the number of days is only the last option, the number of days between these dates. So yeah, this has to be the answer. Now, fifth one, which of the following are the options to export the data used to build a view or? So I'll take you to help.tableau.com for this. And we have a topic called export data from Tableau Desktop. Here, if you scroll down a bit down, you have this option, export data used in the view. That's what is being asked here. Export the data used to build a view. So same thing here. And if you see here, the various methods for exporting the data used to generate the view is listed below. And they are talking about Microsoft Access, CSV file, Excel file, clipboard. Okay, so out of those, we have only CSV file and MS Access options over here. So yeah, B and C will be the answer. Now, sixth question is, which of the following are interactive elements that can be added to a dashboard for users? So for this, let me take you to dashboard. Okay, whenever you create a dashboard and you basically want to, let's say, add actions. Okay, so add actions, and here click on add action. So you see first option, URL action. Here it is, URL action. Go to URL. You see filter action also, filter. You see highlight action also here. So these three are present, right? Filter action, highlight action, URL action. But there is no such thing as edit tooltip action. So the answer would be URL action, filter action, and highlight action. Highlight action, there is no option called as edit tooltip action. So A, B, C are the answer. Now, given a map, which of the following fields can be placed on size, shape, detail, color in the same order? Okay, so going by the options, if you see here, C option will not make sense because there is no point in bringing longitude to size. Okay, and sales profit. Yeah, D option looks right because you can put sales as size, you can put state as shape, and to bring in the country, which will be the upper level of state, we can put it in detail, and profit in color. Yeah, and option B doesn't make sense because there's no point bringing in number of records in detail, right? There's no point to doing that. And again, the profit in detail will not make much sense. So yeah, the only option is left is the fourth option. That's the answer here. So the eighth question is it possible to deploy a URL action on a dashboard object to open a web page within a dashboard rather than opening the system's web browser? So let me take you to dashboard here. Okay, and if you open a dashboard, definitely you get an option called as web page, and if you drag this here, it basically asks you to input a URL, and if you input a URL here and press OK, that web page will start appearing in this dashboard and you don't have to use the system's web browser. So yes, this option is true. Okay, yes, we can do this with the help of a web page object. Okay, and there is more to this on Tableau help. If you go here, there's this actions in dashboards. You can click on interactively display a web page in a dashboard, and you can go through these steps. Okay. Now, ninth question is, which of the following is a good reason for using a bullet graph? Now, normally a bullet graph is used to compare a measure against another measure or a target, basically, to see the performance of that measure. So I would say this B option, comparing the actual sales against the target sales. So you have the target, you have the actual sales. You see the comparison of actual versus the target using the bullet graph. And if you are wondering how do we create a bullet graph, you can always come here, you search build a bullet graph, and you can perform these steps to build a bullet graph. I have made one video also on how to make a bullet graph. I'll leave the link of that in the description. You can watch that also. So 10th question is, how can you manually assign geographic roles to a dimension from the data pane? So let me take you to Tableau, and here if you right click on a field or a dimension, you have this option called as geographic role, and you can select the geographic role for the field which is apt for that. Okay, so basically you have to right click, select geographic role, and then the particular geographic role has to be selected. So here the option would be first one, right click the dimension, geographic role you get, and then assign the appropriate geographic role. Okay. Then which of the following chart types always includes bars sorted in descending order? So pie chart doesn't have that. Gantt chart also we don't need descending order. Stacked bar chart also is just a stacked bar chart. You don't have to necessarily sort it in descending order. So only option left is Pareto chart, and Pareto chart is the answer. And to read more on this, how to create a Pareto chart, you can always come here. And if you see here, Pareto chart is a type of chart that contains both bars and a line graph where individual values are represented in descending order by bars. And this is what is being asked in the question. Okay, and the ascending cumulative total is represented by the line. Okay, you can go through all these steps. Okay, then it is possible to change the geographic role of a dimension. So this we just saw in Tableau how we can change the geographic role, and it is very much possible. So the answer would be true, and you can go through Google, basically help.tableau. You can search this topic called as assign geographic roles, and you can see same thing which I just walked you through how to change that. So yeah, you can go through this help topic also. Then left join returns all rows from the left table with the matching rows in the right table. So you should always know what is the left join, right join, inner join, full outer join. Okay. So left join means yes, definitely all rows have to be there from the left table and the matching rows from the right table. So this is true. And if you wanna have more information on this, you can always go through this W3 schools or any other site which has this left join, right join, outer join. You can go through all these joins types. Okay. Then Tableau can create worksheet specific filters. So see, if you would have worked in Tableau, you would know you can create data source filters, extract filters, sheet level filters, then workbook level filters, multiple sheet filters, single sheet filters. Okay, so yeah, this is true. And if you want to read more on this, you can come here and search apply filters to multiple worksheets option over here. You have these topics: apply filters to all worksheets that use the current primary data source, apply filters to select worksheets, apply filters to the current worksheet only, filter all worksheets on a dashboard. Okay, so I would request you to read this topic entirely. Okay, then when you connect to a new data source, all worksheets that previously referred to the original data source now refer to the new data source. If the new data source does not have the same field names as the original workbook, the fields are marked with an exclamation point. Now, which feature helps us fix this issue? Now, since the data source is changed, so definitely renaming and aliases will not be useful. Fix metadata, there is no such option. So only option left is replace references, and this is the answer. And if you want to read more on this, you can search edit data sources and just navigate to the topic called replace field references. Here you have the same thing which has been asked in the question. When you successfully connect to a new data source, all worksheets in the workbook that previously referred to the original data source now refer to the new data source. If the new data source does not have the same field names as the original workbook, the fields become invalid and are marked with exclamation point. You can quickly resolve the problem by replacing the field references, and that is why it is called as replace field references, right? And you can see here how do we do that. You can right click on a field which is showing exclamation mark over here. You can just right click, select replace references, then you have to point out to the new field which will replace the old field, and that's it. that is done basically. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Do subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank you.